Tell me that's not an awesome fucking title screen for a Metroid game. You've got the creepy, alien, completely out of this world music playing that's also playing the Metroid theme. And then you're inside the anatomy of what looks like a Metroid. I mean, that's what I can only assume because of the nuclei. But greetings from planet Earth, and welcome to video number 50 consecutive. This whole process started off in mid-September, and my god, I can't believe it's going on this long without any kind of interruption. Raise your hand if you thought I could possibly pull off 50 consecutive videos. If any of you are actually raising your hands right now, stop, because you're full of shit. You know how I know? Because I didn't think it was possible. And, you know, I may be my own worst critic, but whatever. So, this is going to be sort of a celebration. A big celebration with one of my favorite games, my number 3 favorite game of all time, Metroid Prime, playing as sort of a backdrop. I wanted to kind of make a video that, you know, the 50th video is special, and it should be special. I didn't want to... You know, I know a lot of people love me hamming it up for Other M, which admittedly I am hamming it up a little bit, but you know, this is going to be a different kind of video. This 50th video is going to be a little bit more real. It's going to be closer to the belt, and I'm going to get into probably some personal space. And yeah, I understand that's not everybody's thing, so, you know, if you're not interested in a guy kind of getting more personal, kind of talking about things that really aren't anybody's business but his own, you know, you're more than welcome to leave. I can understand. I don't particularly like watching those kinds of videos, but I kind of feel with something like this, an accomplishment as silly as it may sound, an accomplishment as kind of groundbreaking as this for me. Because I've never, ever, ever done 50 videos in 50 straight days before. I've done 50 videos in 30, but that's during the carpet bombing spree, and those videos were a lot easier to render and took less time and were less spacious overall. So I think this is a far superior accomplishment to my month of Metroid Prime. So what I want to do is go through and talk, and if you're not interested in personal chat, so to speak, then, like I said, you're more than welcome to leave. Thank you for sticking with these past 49 videos. This, as of tomorrow, is going to mark video number 50. So, yeah. Break out the bubbly or the grape juice if you're not old enough or just don't care to drink yet. It's been a great 50 videos so far, and here's to 50 more. I'm not going to promise because I'm sort of on a day-by-day thing right now, but I've enjoyed it so far, and I hope you guys have too. Anyways, for those of you who are still around, you were warned. If you didn't want to watch, you were warned. So, welcome to the Garden of Madness. You are about to go into the mind of somebody who's probably not well, but at the same time, people seem to enjoy it for whatever reason anyway. I'm not going to be talking a whole lot about Prime, but, you know, I'll start off by saying that I really enjoy this. This is a very minimalist way to start off a game, but it sets the tone. It shows you the area, the planet you're going to explore. It shows the derelict, broken down space frigate that the space pirates were on, anyway. And, it's not good for the space pirates. And not a single word was spoken. Mind you, in the PAL version, there's a narrator who's kind of going over very briefly the events of Metroid 1 and talking about how they tie into Metroid 2. This is an auxiliary pirate force that was sent to scout out Talon 4. And who comes to investigate but our own heroine, Samus Aran. And just atmospherically, musically, this is a hell of a fucking game. And like I said before, we didn't know that at the time. Most of us, like, this was Retro Studios' first major project, and not a lot of people had faith that they were gonna present it. We thought it was just gonna be a generic Halo wannabe. I think Halo came out first. Halo was earlier 2002, I think. This was late 2002. People thought that, this was just gonna send Metroid down the current trend of fucking first-person shooters. Kind of like how Other M sent Metroid down the generic, dated trend of action games. And I gotta say, I love how the Variasuit looks in this game. If you get in close enough in certain areas, it looks a little bit polygony, but this still holds up extremely well for 11 years ago. And it just shows kind of how we've plateaued, so to speak, in terms of graphical performance, because this is easily one of the best looking games on the GameCube. But yes, guys, 50 days, 50 consecutive days. And like I said, there's no way any of you could have possibly thought that 50 days was possible by me, because I sure as fuck didn't. And the reason why I sure as fuck didn't think it was going to happen is a very personal reason. And I know how my brain works. And like I said, this is going to be a very real video, and I'm going to go into a lot of personal subjects in the matter. The reason I didn't think that I was going to manage 50 consecutive videos, let alone 10, is mainly due to the fact that I have clinical depression. I was diagnosed with it a year and a half ago during a very interesting and emotional circumstance that I was put in. And I had been told that I was broken and I needed medication, and my sort of anti-drug philosophy that I've lived by, I still no, I don't need medication. And the fact is, I probably still do, but as of right now, I'm doing well despite it. And I'm by no means using, my ailment, if you want to call it that, as a crutch for how I've acted and how I've kind of treated the YouTube thing over the past several years. But, it really is, if you don't have some kind of a mental disorder or depression or something like that, it's hard to understand. It's like wading through your own personal quagmire, and it's hard to get anything done because there's just this need to be lazy in you. Like, oh, I don't feel like doing anything right now. You literally don't feel like doing anything. You will sit there and waste time staring at nothing on a couch for minutes, sometimes even hours at a time. Like, if you haven't been through it, you can't understand what it's like. And like I said, I'm not using it as an excuse for the past 4 years of start a project, do an episode or two, wait a month, do another episode, wait another month, do another episode, and then a week later the project's canceled. I know that's been kind of the running gag of my channel for quite some time now, and I can understand why people got pissed off about it. And I've been kind of in a weird, it's kind of like a sine wave, up and down, up and down, up and down string that I've been on for the past, I dare not say how long, because I don't even know how long it's been. But we'll say pretty much since I did the Prime games, I've been on this weird back and forth emotional roller coaster of events that have gone on in my life. And yet again, it once again happened when I started this process off. Well, right before it, actually. I was let go from the job that I was working, which, it's kind of a horse apiece because I was miserable working there anyway. but I was supporting myself rather comfortably. You know, I was able to work 32 hours a week, doing a pretty brain dead job, not worrying about a whole hell of a lot, and kind of treating the YouTube thing as an inconvenience, a burden, which, you know, it really should never have been that way. But part of the reason that I started it off, well, I got to give you some backstory. Like I said, I was let go from my job. I had a falling out with a very close friend of mine that I've known for 4 years. Like I said, it wasn't a good place to be. I'm not going to go into really personal, specific details, but I probably should have been in an institution during this period of time. But I was spending my time while I was looking for a job one day, looking through some videos that I hadn't seen. And one of the things that I came across was Bishop, which was a documentary, which was made by, I think it was compiled by a fan of Timothy Bishop, NintendoCaprisun. And that video, it's a long video. I mean, if you want to watch it for yourself, I encourage you to do so, because it's pretty uplifting. I've known Tim for a long time, not like on a greatly personal level, but I'm sure many people know he and I kind of poke each other in our videos, have for years. I mean, most recently I think with Shadow of the Colossus, but I was moved by a lot of the personal things that he had to go through, and I would say some of the things that he went through were kind of on the level, if not more so, than quite a few of the things that I went through. And you know, basically what I took from that is that persistence is key. Stick with it. Stick with doing what you like to do. And things do eventually let up. And I mean, he's in midlife right now, and he's living the dream. He's able to make a very comfortable living and have all of these really, really great opportunities that have come his way. Basically because he entertains people, and he's a very likable personality. And I think for somebody to be able to do that is just, it's such a great message, because having lived what I would consider a very unfulfilling life for the past several years, that I've been a one-man show adult, I have to admit that I haven't been happy with many of the things that I'm doing. Even now, I'm kind of, even though I have a better job than I had before, it's got better future potential, I'm coming home absolutely exhausted. The hours are it's late at night. I'm not getting a whole lot of hours, so I'm barely scraping by right now. But you know, just the ability to be able to entertain people and do what you love, and to be able to support yourself with it, let alone all of the absolutely terrific opportunities that have come his way. And this kind of leads to another problem with the whole depression thing, is that you have a tendency to look back a whole lot, and it's almost involuntary. But I am at fault of looking back a whole lot, and when I was watching that, I don't want to say that I was saying that could have been me, because there's nobody like Tim, and there's a whole lot that he's managed to do because he's such a likable personality. I don't want to say that could have been me, but if I had stuck with it when I was relevant and I was, you know, people were interested in what I was doing, that I might have been able to put myself in a very similar situation. That I might have been able to, you know, you've got so many guys, and I know I'm leaving a whole bunch of names out, but I mean, you've got Tim, NintendoCaprisun, you've got Emil, Chugga Conroy. You've got Josh Jepson. All three of those guys are able to do what they love. And not only survive, but thrive. And it's led to a great deal of friendships for them. It's led to a great deal of opportunities to meet some great people and do some great things. And as I was watching that, I was thinking to myself that if I had stuck with it, back in 2009, before I was really starting to kind of go in a weird direction, that, I might be in a similar circumstance right now. I might be, because I have the YouTube partnership, but at the same time, I don't have an audience where it really becomes a feasible thing. And it's not even about that. The reason that I started doing this, and the reason that I still continue to do this, at the end of the day, is due to the fact that I like the two-way communication. I like the feedback for the endeavors that I've been able to do. It's why I did the Zelda timeline. It's why I started doing a big, I guess you could call my channel a big shrine to the Metroid series, because I love those fucking games. And it's always been about the feedback. I pride myself on the fact that I'm able to have pretty intelligent conversation with a lot of people in my comments. I don't just sit there and go rate, comment, subscribe, and shit like that. I legitimately enjoy the two-way communication. I love the feedback. I love being able to maybe even debate sometimes. There's people who, and while I may admittedly turn the volume up a whole hell of a lot on my opinions of Other M, I kind of like discussing with people my position on that game. And I like seeing their positions, even if I entirely disagree with their positions. It's just fun to me. And that's really what I've kind of gotten back in tune with over the past 50 days, because, again, I was not in a good place, and I didn't want to hype it up either. I had a sneaking suspicion that I might have the potential to do what I've been doing, and really it started off with the fact that the first project I did was Super Metroid, again. Even if it was, the special no wall jumping and no shine sparking until you discover them playthrough. I really wanted to. It's kind of like when you learn how to ride a bike, you need, your mom or dad to push your bike. You need that jump start, that first push. And that first push for me has always been Super Metroid. I've always loved that game. I could devote this entire channel to that. And that would be like a shoo-in, daily uploaded thing. As far as, like I said, I didn't want to hype it up. I thought that would be a mistake. Even if I thought I had it in me, I might set myself up to fail. And another thing that I didn't want to do is, especially for the people who've paid attention to my channel for a longer period of time, and rightfully so, people would be like, well, this is like the 50th time that he said he's going to come back and do, consistent uploads or start a new project. This one's going to get canceled like all the rest. I've kind of, made my bed and now I have to sleep in it. I have almost 14,000 subscribers on YouTube, and admittedly I have alienated myself from quite a few of them, mainly due to the fact that I treated the YouTube thing as sort of a burden when it's not. This admittedly has not been hard. Getting the motivation, the hardest part was probably the first 10 days, because it's kind of like the reverse of a recovering alcoholic or a smoker who's trying to quit. The first period of time, like the first 10 or 15 days, is probably the hardest part, because you're establishing a new habit for yourself, or in those cases you're removing the habit. And it takes a lot of internal strength to be able to make a new habit, to make a constructive habit, you know, like people who want to go to the gym. It's like, well, I want to go to the gym. Sounds fun, but I don't really have the time. I don't want to commit to it. It's the same thing. And it really takes a lot of internal strength to be able to set those new habits, and it's one of the things that I'm most proud of. I'm able to actually make 50 consecutive videos without interruption. Any daily interruption. Which, I don't care what anybody says, nobody could have expected that, because I sure as fuck didn't. What else? I guess one of the other things that I wanted to talk about is that I'm interested because I've made the daily upload into something that's quite feasible and almost routine for me now. And I really wanted to start up something that, you know, the fans can sort of, well, what day of the week is it? Oh, it's going to be this video today. Not so much the back and forth between Minish Cap and Other M that I'm doing right now, but more like a Metroid Monday or a Skyrim Saturday or something like that. I want people to look forward to certain days of the week for certain things that happen on my channel. It gives me a wider variety of things to do. It appeals to a wider variety of people. And it gives a wider potential for feedback. Oh, incoming scan data, fuck you. Turn the hints off. Yeah, hint system off. So I'm really interested in hearing like what you guys have to think. It's actually the reason why I did the 2 consecutive Other M episodes, because the second episode happened to fall on a Monday, and I kind of want the Metroid Monday to be a thing. And that would lead to the next segue, is that, well, Other M is probably about 2/3 done. Like, what are you going to do on Mondays after Other M is over with? And the answer is probably Prime 3. I don't want to make any promises about that. Same reason I didn't want to, you know, make a video hyping up this big series of videos that I started uploading consecutively. But, you know, that would be the logical segue, would be Prime 3. But at that point, I would kind of have to go through and, after that, probably redo Prime 1. Even though I really was proud of what I did on Prime 1, I don't think I came into my own until Prime 2. Some people would disagree, and it's fine. Some people will swear by my Ocarina of Time LP, and how they can do that, I don't know, because I hated how that turned out. Like, if there were a project for me to redo, it'd be that one, like, immediately. But, yeah, I'm interested. If you guys could comment and let me know, like, what you would want to see on certain days of the week. It obviously can't all be, like, letter-themed, like Metroid Monday, oh, Skyrim Saturday, or anything like that. But I'm trying to widen my palette a little bit. I think it'd be for the best as far as my channel goes to be able to do that. And, but yeah, if there's one person that you guys, oh shit, War Wasp hell. If you guys want to thank one person for the series of videos that I've been able to put out for the past several weeks now, seriously, send Timothy Bishop, send NintendoCaprisun a private message and thank him for the inspiration that he was able to give me for it. Because, you know, being able to see somebody do that, and that's seriously the definition of living the dream. Being able to do something that you love and have so many great opportunities that come with it. You know, I'm kind of envious. And it's something that I really want to be able to do for myself someday. I mean, desire and goals kind of fall in line, but, you know, it may not happen. And I'm not, like, banking on it happening. I'm not expecting it to happen. But, here we go, Hive Mecha. I haven't been talking a whole lot about the game, but I've just had a whole lot of personal stuff that I've wanted to get off my chest. Alrighty. Although the personal stuff is probably going to stop right now. Hello. Scan the Ram War Wasp, bitch. Alright. I seriously have been enjoying myself. You know, I kind of do wish that Minish Cap were getting a little bit more appreciation than it's getting. It's not saying it's getting underappreciated right now, but I find it interesting for people to say that, well, play a game that you like, but I don't see those people talking too much about Minish Cap. And it kind of goes along with the whole Eric Bischoff philosophy of controversy creates cash. Talking about a game that I hate and a game that's as polarizing as Other M is definitely going to cause quite a bit more of a ruckus from people than you know, a game that I like. But I've really enjoyed myself so far, and I'm really happy that people have been able to kind of re-accept me. And I know not everybody has, because there's several names from years back that I haven't seen pop up in the comments. But I'm happy that for those of you who've been able to, you know, continue watching despite all the bullshit that's happened over the years, and you know, just be able to re-accept me with open arms. And I've really been happy with how the last 50 days have gone. And that's straight from the heart, guys. I am. Gosh, there goes my train of thought. But I've really enjoyed the last 50 days. And that's not to say that I'm stopping here, because I have a whole hell of a lot else to do. I haven't recorded Minish Cap in a while, and if I'm going to keep doing this alternate back and forth thing, I need to get back on Minish Cap tomorrow. But yeah, guys, I've really been putting 100% of everything that I've wanted to do in these so far. And if you have one person to thank, it's Tim. If you have one game to thank, it's Super Metroid. I know people weren't necessarily wanting to see the game for the third time, even though I love the shit out of the game, and I can, as soon as I finish the game, I can go back and beat it again. That's the truth, and I have done that many times. A couple of times it was actually on stream. But yeah, it really has been a fun little ride, and I don't want it to stop. And as long as I want it to keep going, it probably will keep going. It's been a lot easier after those first 10 days of kind of instilling the habit into myself of going through. It's like, okay, I have to upload today. And it's not even like, it's not even treating it like it's a job or anything like that, like something that I'm unhappy about, like, oh, I'm obligated to do it today. It's just kind of become more of a daily ritual for me, I guess is what I could call it. Like, I'm incomplete. I feel incomplete unless I've done it for the day. That's sort of what I'm trying to get across here. But what else is there to say, guys? I'm enjoying the hell out of this 50-day run, and I'm interested. Not only am I interested in seeing what ideas you guys might have for what I can do as far as like daily things. Like, what games specifically would you want me to do? Bear in mind the PS4 is coming out. I still have the PS4 on reserve now. Admittedly, with Watch Dogs going to hell in a handbasket and them delaying that for months, which I know Watch Dogs was going to come out on the PS3 as well. Whether it still is, I don't know. But I was looking forward to that. That was going to be my game for the PS4, even though I knew it was going to come out for other platforms. That I thought the PS4 was going to kind of be the definitive experience for me. But I don't know. I've given some thought to Assassin's Creed 4, even though I've never played an Assassin's Creed game. I just love the idea of being able to go through and be a pirate assassin. It looks like it might be a fun project once the PS4 comes out. Whether or not I can finish paying off my PS4 at launch or not, I don't know. the whole losing the job thing, and the job that I have now being limited on hours, and it's such a fucking physical nightmare. I come home at 4 in the morning, just absolutely blown away. Like, another job is almost physically impossible for me at this point because it's such a physically demanding job. I'm so exhausted and I'm so sore after the fact that anything else is... You know, I'm doing what I can to stay alive, but as far as luxuries go, and trust me when I say, the PS4 is definitely a luxury, not a necessity. I haven't had a whole lot in terms of luxury over the past several months, but I'm definitely happy with the reception that you guys have given me, or at least those of you who've stuck with it. And I can understand people not wanting to stick with it, because there's a lot of patience that was shown to stick with it for as long as some people did. And I don't blame them for leaving. I don't blame them for, you know, just getting tired of waiting for all their favorite projects, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to go back to some of the other projects, just because it's going to kind of remind me of... I'm talking about most of the incomplete projects that I was so far deep in. I wouldn't consider Corruption in that category. Corruption, I did a couple episodes and I stopped. But ones that I was most of the way done with, or at least halfway through with, I don't know if I'll ever be able to go back to those, because it's kind of an emotional trigger, like a reminder of a much darker time in my life, a much less useful and productive time of my life, and you know, I kind of want to look forward, not backward. It's been how I've had to live, because if I was looking backwards, you know, a month and a half ago when this whole process started, I probably would not be in a very good place right now. So I kind of learned to numb myself from all the shit that had happened in the past and things that I had kind of chained myself to for so long. It sounds really deep, it sounds really, you know, almost over dramatic, but it's the truth. It's how I've been living for the past 4 years. It's one of the reasons why I'm so so associated with you know, laziness and not getting the shit that I need to get done. But yeah, I think I'm about done with this particular video. I know I probably should have made it more in the line of a highlights video, so you have more than just the Orphean, the Overworld, and Chozo ruins. Because I love Phendrana drifts in this game. Everybody knows that. But I think this is going to be a decent little stopping point, just because this is mainly just to get my thoughts out there. I know I kind of ramble and go in circles a little bit when I'm talking normally, but it's mainly due to the fact that when I make a video, I kind of psych myself up, I put myself into the zone, and I focus more on the matter at hand. This has just been kind of shooting the breeze, more casual approach to the videos, and I guess tomorrow, well, not tomorrow for me, but tomorrow for you guys, tomorrow's video is probably going to be the next Minish Cap. I need to do that tomorrow myself. Tomorrow being today. It's hard to describe. But the day that you guys are viewing this, which is going to be day 50, will be the day that I have to get back started on Minish Cap, because I've used all my pre-recorded content. So I'm going to get to a save point and call this I can't say an episode, because this is not going to be a thing. It's mainly just, like I say, shooting the breeze and talking to those who have the patience to listen. So, for those of you who have listened, I thank you. For those of you who listened for the first 2 minutes and then was like, well, we're not going to sit through this, I thank you anyway, because, like I say, it's been an interesting 50 days, and it's all about that first consistency. And if I had been getting a lukewarm response with Super Metroid and Metroid Fusion for the first 2 weeks, I probably might have stopped. I know that's not a good thing to say, but I probably might have stopped out of like. I tend to hype things up. I tend to think that things are going to turn out better than they usually do. But I've been happy with how things have turned out and how in tune and like I said, the response that I've gotten for the past several days. Oh, this is definitely not good. Bad jump. But yeah, folks, definitely leave me a comment. Let me know what you want to see as far as like daily like segments, like Metroid Monday or Skyrim Saturday or what the hell ever you want to see. And then let me know what games you'd want to see me do. I'm not sure so much about Zelda right now because I'm not particularly in a Zelda mood, but you know, Metroid Monday is probably going to be a thing, and the first official entrant to Metroid Monday, even though Other M, I started the process up, will probably be Prime 3 Corruption. I've kind of gotten back in tune with the ability to say what I need to say, and I think my commentary is a lot better than it used to be. Some people may disagree, but whatever. So, yeah, this has been a nice, almost 40-minute long diatribe of me just sitting here yapping about personal subjects, maybe a little too deep for some of you. I can totally understand that. But thanks for listening, and if you stuck with it, definitely just let me know what you want to see in the future, because you guys are the lifeblood of this channel. I may be the one putting out the content, but without you guys, I would have stopped a long time ago. So I appreciate it. I appreciate the patience that a lot of you have shown. If you're one of the longtime fans, I question how superhuman your patience is for waiting and waiting and waiting. But, you know, the last 50 days, I hope they've been worth it, because they've sure as hell been worth it to me. So, that being said, Minish Cap tomorrow. Have a good day, everybody.